strength, at least give me a light. Everything he's doing could be. There's a chance you could be right. I'm so close, I can hear them singing. Voices in your body coming through on the radio. The snake is on the line. Moving on, it's gonna race, it's gonna break through the borderline. The snake is on the That's right. The union of the snake is on the climb. Welcome once again to the only place without bullshit that you're going to learn anything of the truth, Illuminati God Channel and Hollywood God Channel, which I will also be sharing on the YouTube platform because I have no other choice. I have different choices. I do have many choices. But YouTube is the most relevant. Where did we leave off? Holy shit. Just when you thought that you knew who the enemy was, you really don't know, do you? You don't know who the enemy is. You have no idea who the enemy is. But before I begin with chapter 2, from this great perversion known as the Torah, aka the Old Testament, I want you to be more familiar with the God that they actually worship. Because you're not aware, you have no idea what they actually worship. So I'm going to go cover this again. Please pay attention. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not. The spelling is Phanes. So it's either Fanes or Phanes. I'm not sure. Matter of fact, let's get out of this bullshit and pronounce it the right way. Let's see. We're going to find out right now how you pronounce this shit. Here we go. Oh. Phanes. I don't know. You tell me. Let's try it again. All right, Phanes. Phanes. Okay. So the pronunciation of their God, which is a much older concept. It didn't start with the Greeks. The Greeks got it from the ancient Egyptians, not the ones living there today. I'm talking about the ancient Egyptians, and before them, the Babylonians and Sumerians. Phanes is just the Greek interpretation of the name. Okay? So understand that. But we get a closer definition to what their God is through the Greeks, who are a bunch of freaks. And I'm talking about the ancient Greeks. For all of y'all get offended because you have Greek blood or you're Greek yourselves. I'm talking about the motherfuckers back then. Calm the fuck down. Phanes, the ancient god of creation in Orphic cosmogony. Phanes is one of the most mysterious and deeply symbolic forms of Greek mythology. In Orphic cosmogony, is presented as the first creative god, the primary source of life and secular order. As a primate protogen god, embodies the transition from chaos to the creation and birth of the world. According to Orphic tradition, at first there were time and need, which separated the primary mixture of the elements. This process created the cosmic egg. Something that when you study these mystery religion of these bastards, you always come across the cosmic egg, from which Phanes hatched. Its appearance marks the first act of creation, light, movement, and playability. Phanes is not just a god, but the very beginning of life. Are those alien movies beginning to make sense to you now? Ridley Scott is one of them. When you watch these alien films, Prometheus, Alien Romulus, Alien Covenant, he has filmed his religion, what he believes in these movies. You better wake the fuck up. The first king of the universe. Phanes is considered to be the first king of the world, possessing the divine scepter of power. His reign was not warlike, but creative. He surrendered power. But let me also stop and remind you that Phanes is a hermaphrodite god, both male and female. The Nyx, night. The Uranus, the planet Uranus. The Cronus. I would like to thank the president in office for his reply. Zeus, the ultimate sovereign of the universe. In some Orphic versions, the Zeus swallows Phanes, absorbing his creative power to recreate the world and give birth to the Olympian gods. Fantasy and love. The power of desire. Orphics identified Phanes with primary love, the theogony Hesod. Eros here is not a romantic god, but cosmic pull force, which unites the elements and makes it possible to create. You see, what they did is they took the elements that they couldn't explain, but personified them as human beings who were divine gods. When they had enough people believing in these elements being personified as human beings, as gods, the next step was to say, well, we, the priesthood, are descended by blood from these beings. So therefore, we're gods too, and you have to worship us and listen to us and obey us. This is what they do. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. Fairness symbolizes the fertility, the animal life, the association of opposers. Identification and symbolic forms. Fairness incorporates features of other primal deities, position, the act of creation, nature, the natural order of the world, Ophion, the primary cosmic power, Mitis, creative wisdom, Chithis, the fooder of everything. These identities indicate that Fairness acts as total principle of existence, not as an individual god. Let me repeat that part. These identities indicate that Fairness acts as total principle of existence, not as an individual god. This is not a monotheistic God, regardless of what these liars tell you. Form and picture of Phanes. Phanes is described as goldfin, hermaphrodite, convex by snake. Let me read that last one again. Convex by snake. You're going to see a lot, and you're seeing it now, a lot of symbolism of the snake. The snake symbology is very important in this mystery religion. The snake symbolizes eternal regeneration and knowledge. Cobra, la 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 la. While its hermaphrodite nature indicates the completeness and self-sufficiency of creation. The wings express the speed and spread of life in the universe. The etymology of the name Phanes. Name Phanes is derived from verbs I'm showing, shine, the shining, Kubrick was one of them. Not because he was a Jew, but because he was a member of this secret society, this brotherhood of the snake. And means he who brings to light, the one who makes existence visible. Phanes, family, parents, it hatched from the cosmic egg through the time and need. Alternatively, resource and pinia, according to Plato, as eros. Water and Gia, Orphic tradition. So these are interchangeable. Time and need is resource and pinia, or water and Gia. Children, night. The child of Phanes is night. Phanes in philosophical, night, aka darkness. Phanes in philosophy and mythology. In Orphism, Phanes was not worshipped with public shrines, but held a central role in mysterious teachings. It symbolized the knowledge of the principle of everything and the spiritual awakening of man. In essence, knowledge is God. And what these bastards believe is that the collective knowledge of man is God. Therefore, man is God. I almost became an adept or an initiate of this religion. I know many who are to this day, and they have no idea that they're serving a pagan, hermaphrodite, Babylonian, Sumerian goddess. They have no idea. Poor souls they are. Poor souls they are. And they think that they are God. And they think that they're going to come back as a God to rule the rest of us. But when in reality, they're going to cease to exist. You will never be God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry somebody that you admired lied to you and recruited you and brainwashed you. But that's the truth. You will never be God. Conclusion, Phanes is not just a primitive god, but the cosmic spark which gave form to existence. Through him, Orphic cosmogony offers a deep philosophical interpretation of creation where light, love, and need coexist as foundations of the universe. And all this terminology you can find in Freemasonry and other secret societies with different names, but it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. Okay. So now, with that all said, you have you have understanding now of the God that this Torah, this Old Testament is really talking about. I continue with chapter 2 of Genesis. Where are my fucking glasses? My reading glasses. Because I don't want to accidentally read the wrong thing. I want to make sure I'm reading exactly what's being said here. Chapter 2 of Genesis. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God, Phanes, ended her work, which her had made. And her rested on the seventh day from all her work, which her had made. I'm adding the her part. See, they know it's a hermaphrodite, but they're not letting you know. They're not stupid. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it her had rested from all her work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God, what does that mean? Well, I know that in London, England, they call their king Lord. So wait a minute. Let's replace, I'm going to read that again, and I'm going to replace Lord with king. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the King God made the earth and the heavens. A king God? So wait a minute. We're really ruled by a bunch of men, but these men have a king. There's a king God, and below this king God, there are other gods. Look no further. These are the sons of bitches that have twisted it. This is what they believe. I'm not saying, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that this is what this is really saying. I'm telling you how they have twisted this and believe it in a different way than what is written. They follow this as well, but they lie to you. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the king God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But wait a minute. What did I tell you yesterday or earlier today? What did I say? What did I say to you? Holy shit. There's already a man created in the image of God. But here it's saying in Genesis chapter 2, it says, there was not a man to till the ground. Then what the fuck were the other ones? Who the hell were the other men made in the image of God? Who the hell were they? You see, it's talking about two creations. A creation of men who are made in the image, the mind of God. This is what they believe. And another group of men who were made from the dirt, from the earth, and placed in the Garden of Eden. Obviously, the men or the beings created in the mind or the image of God are not going to be workers. They're there to rule. That's what it said in the first part of Genesis. They were to rule everything. They're not there to till the ground. That's you and me. That's what. Did you see how twisted this is? Unbelievable. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the king God formed man of the dust of the ground. You see, here we're coming. Now, another man is being made. Another group of humans or beings are being made. But these are the slave race. You and me. Y'all better wake the fuck up. This fucking book and the religions that spawned it is the biggest scam ever. The biggest scam ever. If they can't get you in politics, they'll get you in religion. Holy shit. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground, and the king God, king meaning Lord, the king God formed man of the dust of the ground, the dirt, the earth, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So the other motherfuckers were made in the image, the mind of God, and these beings were made from the earth to till the ground, to be the slaves. Holy shit. And the king God planted a garden eastward in Eden. For those of you who don't know, Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq. And there he put the man whom he had formed, and out of the ground made the king God to grow. And out of the ground made the king God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into four heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hadikel. That is it which goeth towards the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the king God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the king God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Of knowledge. What did we just say about knowledge? What's the symbol of knowledge? Should I repeat it again? Let's go back. Let's go back. The snake symbolizes eternal regeneration and knowledge. Now you understand why the pharaohs had the cobra. Now you understand why in G.I. Joe the enemy was called Cobra. The snake symbolizes eternal regeneration and knowledge, while its hermaphrodite nature indicates the completeness and self-sufficiency of creation. Oh boy. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And the Lord, or rather, and the King God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. Probably meant a help for him. Let me read it that way. I will make him a help mate for him is a typo. And out of the ground the King God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them in onto Adam. Adam. And what is Adam? That's a Tree of Life movie. Adam, meaning the name Adam is of Hebrew origin, directly translating to man, humankind, earth, or ground. It is derived from the Hebrew noun Adam, which closely tied to Adama, meaning ground or red earth, aka matter. So Adama is matter. So what does that make Eve? Energy. The spirit, Eve, energy, pure energy, as a matter of fact. Sound familiar? Huh? What happens when you combine matter with energy? Combining matter and energy or converting one to the other is governed by Albert Einstein's mass energy equivalence equation. E equals mc2, depending on the specific interaction. Adding or combining them leads to a few distinct outcomes. State changes. Adding thermal energy causes atoms or molecules to move faster or further apart, transforming solids to liquids and liquids to gases. Energy generation through nuclear fission, splitting atoms or fusion, combining atoms. A tiny amount of matter is completely converted into vast amounts of heat and radiation. As detailed in discussions on physics stack exchange, the mass of the final particles is slightly less than the initial state, releasing the mass defect as kinetic energy or photons. Annihilation. When matter meets its counterpart antimatter, they annihilate, converting 100% of their combined mass directly into pure electromagnetic energy. Photons. Creation of matter. Under extreme conditions like high energy particles, collisions, pure energy, such as colliding photons of light, can convert directly into physical particles of matter and antimatter. Mass and energy. Well, you know what? A lot of you watching this now and later, you got to do some research, because I know a lot of you are blind to this shit. But you know what the Kardashians are doing, right? And you know what the who won in basketball recently, or who's winning at the soccer tournaments. You know the latest actor that's going to play a Marvel character in an upcoming movie. You know a lot of shit that doesn't matter, but the shit that you should be concerned about, you don't know. And out of the ground, the king God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmate for him. And the king God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the king God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. If you only knew the truth, it's the opposite. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now, I'm going to show you where this comes from. Ready? You ready for it? No, you're not. But I'm going to show you what it's all about. This man versus woman thing. Are you ready? Comparing Yahweh and Isis involves looking at two of the most influential deities in history. While they originate from different cultures, Yahweh from the Israelites and Isis from the ancient Egyptians, and even older than that, they both evolved from local tribal deities into figures of universal importance. Yahweh, the national god of the Iron Age kingdoms of Israel and Judah. He is the central figure of Abrahamic monotheism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, characterized as a transcendent, all-powerful creator. Isis, originally an Egyptian goddess associated with kingship and protection. She was the wife of Osiris and mother of Horus. Over time, she became a universal great mother, the Matrix. That's what the Matrix means. That's what Matrix means. It means great mother. Worshipped across the Roman Empire. So you see, this hermaphrodite god split into two. From one, it became two. One group of priests praised the male aspect. The other group of priests praised the female aspect. This is where we get patriarchy, whatever, what is it called? Patriarchy versus the matriarchy. This is what's going on right now. They're making it a conflict again. Man versus woman. If you're unhappy being a man, become a woman. If you're a woman, unhappy of being a woman, you can become a man. That's what's going on right now. It's this conflict. Historical interactions, the Exodus narrative. In biblical tradition, the 10 plagues were often interpreted as Yahweh defeating the Egyptian pantheon to prove his supremacy over gods like Isis. Greco-Roman syncretism is the Hellenistic period. Some thinkers attempted to blend or compare various deities. Both Yahweh and Isis were frequently invoked in magical papyri by practitioners who believed both held immense power. Competition for souls. During the Roman Empire, the cult of Isis and the early Christian worship of Yahweh/Jesus was direct competitors for followers seeking personal salvation and a connection to a caring deity. But it doesn't matter which one you follow. Christians are following Yahweh, aka Jesus. Jews and Christians are following Yahweh/Jesus. Freemasons and other secret societies are following Isis, and in different names, one of them being Sophia. Yet they're both one and the same. It comes from the hermaphrodite God. Both sides are idiots. Both sides are morons. These motherfuckers are idiots. They want their power back. And guess what? If things continue the way they're going, they're going to get it. They're going to get their power back. And you know what? Y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. I say this over and over and over again. There is no good and evil. That's bullshit. There's only bad and worse. And when these cocksuckers finally get their new world order, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. Before I forget, I want to show you where this so-called Torah came from. Because believe it or not, these beliefs in the Torah come from this. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. And this, even before, comes from the Sumerian Babylonians in Asia. Those of you who believe you're God, who believe you're Asiatic black men, and that you're God. You're not my God. You're not my God, motherfuckers. The white man ain't my God, but guess what? The black man ain't my God either. You can be God of yourselves if you want to pretend to be. But you're not my God, motherfuckers. I want to make that clear. I want to make that clear. All of you fucking assholes. Black, white, yellow, brown. Whatever the fuck race you are. But if you believe that you're my God, you believe that you are God, that man is God, you can go fuck yourselves. fuck yourselves and die. Man is a lot of things, but God ain't one of them. That's it. That's all I got to say tonight. Where's the música? Música, música. Where's the música? The union of the snake, baby. Fuck Kabbalah, fuck Gnosticism, fuck Zionism, fuck socialism, fuck all the various names you have for yourself, Freemasonry, whatever the fuck you call yourself, fuck you.